What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 1:144th scale option parts set 1 and 2 with weapons from Gundam Seed. On top of providing weapons from previous exclusive entry grade strike variants, it also gives us what we've been waiting for since 11 years ago. And since this is a double review, please make use of the chapters for navigation. Starting with the Aile Striker sets, there is a total of 4 runners in the box. As for the builds themselves, the weapons are very basic since they were made with the entry grade strike in mind, while the Aile Striker is completely brand new and feels almost identical to the high grade. Don't be mistaken though, as the Striker pack does not have touch gates, so you'll have to use nippers in order to build it. Otherwise, besides the black needing cleanup efforts, the package contents come together very quickly. All put together, the Aile Striker looks basically as it should, with the biggest point of attention being the lack of stickers on the wings, achieving full part separation besides the need to paint in the midsection in a dark grey. Though needs for not requiring much additional touch-ups, I feel like the wings look a bit too chunky for my liking, but it's a necessary sacrifice nonetheless. Otherwise, besides the short to beam sabers and minor proportion tweaks, the option set Aile Striker is nearly physically identical to the high grade version and adheres to the entry grade philosophy of looking great out of the box with minimal need for further effort, while possessing swivels at the wings and boosters, and ball joints for the saber holsters for adjustability. Surprisingly wider adjustability at the boosters compared to the high grade, that is. As standard, the Aile Striker uses the striker attachment point for use with the entry grade strike, though solidity isn't exactly the best for some reason, even on a top coated kit. Regardless, it provides the strike with a pair of beam sabers, usable with the included custom beams. Other additional weapons include the bazooka with the 4 magazines and the Din's anti-aircraft shotgun. The former features 2 movable handles, while the latter has high amounts of surface detail. They simply slide into the hands for relatively problem-free use. The last weapon included is the Grand Slam, and since I've covered this weapon before, please check out the original review for more details. In terms of compatibility though, the option set Aile Striker is, quite naturally, compatible with the high grade strike variants, arguably to a much more solid degree. With the joint removed, the universal double peg adapter can take its place to be plugged onto other kits. That is, if the clavicle pieces don't get in the way. In that case, the top half of the striker can separate for use with another male-to-male double peg adapter and be used that way. And to be honest, I think this configuration looks very awkward. Finally, an extra adapter and the fin and batteries of the multiple assault striker are included in the set. From adding the striker or double peg adapters onto the new one before attaching everything to the Aile, you'll have the base of the multiple assault striker. And besides the fins and batteries not working with the high grade Aile Striker, it does look a little bit naked without the other 2/3 of the equipment. Which is where option set 2 comes in. Composed of 3 runners and a wire, the builds of both the launcher and sword strikers are simple yet intricate in the pursuit of full color separation, which puts them at a slightly higher difficulty compared to an average entry grade due to the various small parts and the green and dark blue being highly susceptible to nut marks. Otherwise, they're just good old weapons that feel more involved than the norm. Starting with the sword striker, it is equipped onto the strike by sandwiching the shoulder armor on, before assembling the trim and boomerang assembly, equipping the shield bracket to connect to the anchor, and attaching the striker pack to the usual hardpoint, until it falls off like the Aile Striker. The resulting Sword Strike Gundam is nothing but perfection. No matter the state of your entry grade strike, the fully color separated add-on parts look absolutely gorgeous without needing further effort. Granted, the seam line down the large shoulder pad is a bit jarring, but the Sword Striker is visually faultless. For weapons, the Schwertgewehr anti-ship sword is stored on the backpack with a double jointed arm, and can be sandwiched into the hands for use with its own set of beams. Sure, weight issues depend on how much play your entry grade strike has been through, but it looks and functions exactly as it should. Next is the Midas Mesa beam boomerang stored solidly on the shoulder, which can be used with its own beam after sandwiching into the hand. Finally, the Panzer-Eisen rocket anchor on the shield has double jointed appendages, and a wired adapter is used to send out the claw with relatively good strength. All in all, the Sword Striker is a great set. Then there's the Launcher Striker, which simply sandwiches the shoulder armor and attaches onto the usual hardpoint, also with questionable solidity. Visually, the Launcher Striker also looks very good from a straight build with no additional effort needed. The part separation recreated details like the yellow and red color apps, as well as the barrel of the combo weapon pod using separate plastic pieces, and the proportions are very faithful to the design. Well, besides the thick wings on the shoulder anyway. Although the giant scene line down the Agni beam cannon might be something you want to clean up, the Launcher Striker visually matches the other packs. For gimmicks and weapons, besides the combo weapon pod that doesn't really do anything apart from having moving shoulder armor, the Agni beam cannon can deploy on 2 ball joints and 3 swivels. But the moment you untap the arm from the backpack is when the weak ball joints will manifest, which makes setting up poses a bit tricky. Furthermore, the cannon's foregrip can deploy by sliding out, and the handles slide into the hands for use. Again, it depends on the state of your entry grade strike in terms of weight issues, but once everything is set up, they won't matter as much. Overall, the Launcher Striker looks very good, but it's rather problematic in practice. Finally, besides equipping both arm attachments of the sword and Launcher Strikers, the Agni's arm and a custom arm for the Schwertgewehr can be attached to the adapter from option set 1 to create the multiple assault striker. This results in the Perfect Strike Gundam, with all the pros and cons of the strikers prior. Besides the top joints of the sword holster being a ball joint now, the loose ball joints of the Agni are still present, and the kit is heavily weighed down, which won't benefit an osteoporotic entry-grade Strike Gundam. Nonetheless, the strikers all function as they should and provide a proper update of the old high-grade multiple assault striker, albeit a bit clunky to move around because of the kibble all over the place. In terms of compatibility, on top of the sword arm parts being reverse compatible thanks to their symmetrical design, thankfully, the shoulder and arm attachments of both the sword and Launcher Strikers are compatible with the high-grade Cosmic Era Strike Gundam, so not only can you finally create an updated high-grade sword/Launcher Strike, you'll also have a way sturdier kit to create a Perfect Strike with. On top of that, there's one single to double peg adapter. This is for making the sword and Launcher Strikers compatible with universal standard kits. It's a bit of a shame that there's only one, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. A peg-to-peg adapter is also included for equipping the rocket anchor to other kits with hardpoints. Being an update with an 11-year engineering difference compared to the old high grade, these two weapon sets are just what everybody wanted on paper. A well-deserved update with all of the parts fully color separated and customizable with just about any kit in high grade or entry grade form, especially strike-based kits. Granted, all the striker packs look awesome with modern engineering, then making the exclusive entry-grade strike weapons retail is nice, and the functions and compatibility absolutely make the markup between the old high grade and this a la carte combo worth it. However, the lackluster contents of the first one and janky joints of the second one are worth addressing. The rest is up to the kits that you use the parts on. Either way, they're the best alternative for a more accessible way to build an updated Perfect Strike Gundam. And for their own pros and cons, I would say suit yourself if you want to get the parts separately, because even though option set 2 can arguably stand on its own, both sets are definitely strongest when purchased together. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.